He knew he was going because he knew why. He said, "Oh no, I haven't seen my friend 20 years." He was so unrecognizable, and this is after 20 years when he was already on his road to recovery. Can you imagine? I think his book is called The Word. The first entry is abracadabra. He shows that it's the English source for all of the Hebrew source of all of English. He even shows that the word English is a Hebrew word. It comes from anglers, and the Northern Falls, and they were whatever. Was he talking clearly, or did he have like a?
He had some facial distortion,
Yeah,
but he was definitely 100% understandable.
I wish that was not kosher too, but those days didn't have kosher. That was how many years ago was that already? That was wild. Right.
8 or 9 years, yeah. For its kind, limina, number 4. So this is a katon. The katon is connected to the pashta that comes in front of it.
You're on the word. Where are you?
Limina, number 4.
Number 4.
Right. So what do you mean? It's
20.
What note is it?
Katon.
Oh, that's katon. See, you have to say that because me and Corinne can't see. Corinne, right? Is that right, Corinne?
So
no, I was talking to the next teacher.
Whenever we come across a katon, we notice that it's 2 dots on top of itself.
Right.
So.
Are you calling that like a double, like the Gershon you said it was 2?
So,
is that a 2?
Right.
Okay.
So we
the 2 with ease.
We say that this is number 1 for emphasis, and number 2 that there might be 2 things sort of stacked on top of each other, one thing that's more important than the other, and that's what the word is trying to emphasize for us because it's got a katon on it.
But it can't be 2 revi'is because that negates the idea of a revi'i that it's on its own. Right. So it's not 2 revi'is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more the duality or whatever. Okay.
So, although individual variation in size and color may be overlooked, strict attention must be applied for its kind, so that both partners of a pair belong to the same kind of cattle. So, again, when we're bringing 2 of each animal, the animals might have some individual variation amongst them. However, they still have to be the same species, i.e., admission of a mixed pair, a horse and a cow, or a lamb and a deer, etc., shall be denied, as pointed out by the bipartite shape of the reading worm. So they're 2 animals of the same kind. They can have differences, but they're still the same kind. They're still in line with each other.
Because the whole point is that the Tishchet Aretz was when they crossed those lines.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the tikkun has to be.
Mikol, from most. And again, very interesting definition of the word kol. Most, not all. This has a tavir. Tavir, as you'll remember, is something with the shell on the outside and something sheltered within it. Number 5, you shall also pick from most varieties of creatures, particularly from those which are rare and unpopular due to their functions and contributions.
What's under Mikol?
Tavir.
Oh, I was looking at Remes. Okay, right, I was looking at, okay. Right. What's under Remes? Okay, right, I see. Okay, so how does that fit in with Mikol again? You shall also pick from
So you're going to shelter, you're going to give refuge to, most is a very interesting interpretation of kol, but so most varieties of creatures, those are the ones, even ones that wouldn't necessarily be the ones that you would want. You're still going to give them shelter. Remes, creeper, with a mercha. Mercha again doesn't exclude the stuff before it and leads into what's going to go after it.
But does the tavir go into what follows?
Tavir sort of has it's sheltering that concept,
right? But
and has, if you will, a minor pause after it. So it's like the tipcha has a minor pause after it. Tavir has maybe even a little bit of a longer pause than the tipcha has.
So it's not.
So it's almost like it's almost like a comma.
So it's not really Mikol Remes?
Mikol Remes Hadama Mikol almost has a comma after it.
Because you're almost tempted to say Mikol Remes at first. right?
Mhm.
From every creeper. Right?
So again, the
That's why he does
the pshat separates out the word mikol and remes. The drush might connect the two, but the pshat has to separate them out. So remes. There is also a common characteristic of relatively slow-moving species called by a collective term creeper. Yet each one has its own assignment in the orchestrated function of creation, as suggested by the directional shape of the reading mark.
Oh, wait, here remes. Wait, is it mercha tikva? Remes.
This is a mercha, so it's going to lead into ha'adama.
Right.
Why is the directional, how does that suggest it?
So remes is going to go together with adama. So it's got to go together with the word that's coming after it. But we'll remember that merchad sort of folds in a little bit of what's before. It doesn't necessarily look back to what's before, but it's going to fold in the concepts of what we had before. So we're saying the birds are distinct to their species, but they might have differences amongst them. The cattle are distinct to their species, although they might have differences among them. So the remes is also going to have
following the same pattern.
Following the same pattern.
Healthy.
Why? Because it's a mercha, not a munach. It tells us that it sort of folds in what's before, but it's remes ha'adama. It's going to be what's the main focus of where they're crawling. Ha'adama. It's going to be related to of the ground. Number 7. Whether they move on trees, plants, or other objects, they are products of the ground and deserve protection, as expressed by the closing shape of the reading mark. So, ha'adama is their essence, and it folds back to the fact that they are remes. They are crawler. They are things that crawl, and while they might crawl here, there, and everywhere, they basically are part of the ground. They feed the ground.
Since you started with his Perush, has it affected your learning at all, or made it richer, or easier to learn, or any? Has it had some effect directly on the language?
No direct effect because.
But it enriched you for sure.
It certainly enriched it on a subconscious level. I was sort of perceiving some of this.
Right.
Not necessarily with his interpretation, but certainly with the separations that are implied by the trop. Definitely.
It's like a validation of what you thought all along. Was your father a Bulgarian?
Yes.
Wow. Did he teach you your Berber? You had Mr. Zuchter?
Liminehu, number 8.
That would have been a good
Again,
mark.
with an etnachta, so this is a stable base, possibly with something looking from there above. For its kind. Also, among those, you shall observe whether one is in pursuit for its kind, according to the standard principle, as confirmed by the stabilizing shape of the reading mark. So, the stabilizing element in all of the animal groupings that we've said is that they stay within their own kind. They can have some variation, but specifically liminehu, that they are in their own species and not mixing species to species, is going to be the element that stabilizes them.
So wait a minute. When Noah gets the thing to bring 2 to the ark, so let's say he brought 2 dogs, a male and a female dog. But there's so many kinds of dogs now. Like, could he bring a male collie and a female terrier or something?
So what we
bring 2 dogs after all.
What we
or is he bringing different pairs of, like 2 poodles, 2 terriers, 2 shiatsus, not shiatsus, shih tzus.
So what we definitely say is that there can be variations within, but it can't be so much that it's a different species.
No, that's what I'm asking.
And
so why did Noah bring? Did Noah bring just 2 dogs?
know from the text
It's crowded over
how
there.
far the definition of species goes. So while we have a scientific classification right now, that's definitely not what Noah
If the
used.
dogs were domesticated, they're probably going
So we have implications of domesticated versus not domesticated.
Although the fact that he's mentioning...
Behema and chaya, so we
Right.
have those terms, but that's not the question.
Wait a minute, now just thought of something. By him mentioning what he's mentioning, makes it sound that there were more than just... Because if there's just one kind of dog, it's obvious you're bringing that dog, a male and a female of that dog. But the fact that he has to say
But we don't know-
species
we don't
means
know
that there
how many-
were more kind... No, I just picked dogs as an example.
Yeah.
There were many...
We don't know how many
Strains of-
variations of each were.
But we know that there
brought.
were, because otherwise he wouldn't be commenting on it.
Right.
Mhm.
But I, in my humble opinion, the fact that the Torah emphasizes again 3 times the same process, limineo, is being clear that this is the tikkun for exactly
That's
that
for
point,
sure, yeah, but-
that they've all been crossing their natural boundaries. God said,
But not within species. They were like a giraffe was sleeping with the hippopotamus.
Well, but that's no, but that is the
Right.
point.
And that's why
That-
they're getting rid of.
Well, that's it. That's why I'm making a very point. I don't care
And-
if the goat,
and
one goat is black or one goat is white, as long as it's a goat,
Right.
and not a horse or a chves,
Horse and a goat cross,
a jackal, or
which is what he's getting rid of.
yeah, and
which
that's
is
the
what?
point. So,
And,
Sorry.
Was the
and,
jackass a jackal and an ass? Or like this is... Yeah.
and again, you'll notice that we said the first half of the sentence is going to be the more elevated half,
elevated, yeah.
and the second half is not.
Oh, I have a
The
good
first half of
joke.
the
I have a good joke.
sentence.
The ark had different levels. Like maybe this is where the position of the ark. The elevated ones were on the because there were 3 levels. Remember, and one was just for the humans.
Mhm.
But that would be interesting. So there were 2 after
we-
the human. I think the humans were on the top
at
probably,
the
right?
bottom are the politicians, yeah.
Yes,
And then
we had that in a previous pasuk already. We got
probably
that
did,
concept.
yeah.
But liminehu, that they're following what they're supposed to do for tikkun.
Right.
All of the liminehus are in the first half of the sentence,
Uh-huh.
and in the second half of the sentence, they're just coming to stay alive.
Mhm.
In the first half, they're coming and they're staying separate. In the second half of the sentence, they're just coming to stay alive. So you notice the elevated half, the less elevated half, emphasizing what they need to correct in the first half of the sentence, and just emphasizing survival in the second half of the sentence. Shnayim.
I
okay.
cannot believe your father has not come to either to you in a dream, especially to you. He's going to appear to Jeff before you, even.
For sure.
Or to me, or some, or whatever. He must be getting nothing, although he was a tough person to please, no? He has to be happy with this, no. Better than
Shnayim. A pair, number 9.
I don't
Darga.
want to see the next Corinne next time because she's very critical.
A pair shall be defined by 2 individuals of identical genetic features but of opposite sex as specified by the shape of the reading mark. So, darga, as we'll recall, is something that leads from a point to a specific.
What word are you on now?
Shnayim.
Shnayim.
As a
pair.
okay, sure, yeah.
So we're going to say that the pair is going to specifically have features that separate itself out from things that are not it, and we're going to go from the general to the specific. So generally they're both dogs, but by the way, there's 1 male, 1 female. And again, we sort of see that from the darga. Tivir, mikol, number 10, from most. So the darga is always something that leads to something else. It either leads to a tivir or to a munach rabi'i. So mikol with the tivir is that note with the core being sheltered from something or
But how
something
could
being
it
preserved.
lead to a munach if munach
Darga munach rabi'i. So that's one phrase, or darga tivir.
So the darga is not really leading to the munach, like the munach, because you said it's
So the
like
munach is going to separate itself out. So you're going to have something that's going to try to lead to something, but it's going to be separated. And when we get to a darga munach rabi'i, we'll talk about that. Mikol, from most. The suitable pairs from most of the species will be made aware of the location of the box and its purpose, as illustrated by the shape of the reading mark. And again, the concept is that we've got something that's being sheltered, and whenever we're talking about the ark, we have this implication of shelter there immediately, and the Mikol, those pairs that are going to be coming, are the ones that are going to be sheltered into the ark. And he makes a side note here, and B, this was a clarification for Noach of how and where he would find the appropriate species, but the animals themselves, those pairs that are going to come, are going to know where the ark is and what the purpose of the ark is, and they're going to know that they have to be sheltered in it. So those two dogs, that male and female dog, they're going to know it, and when Noach
they're
comes,
going to know they're the chosen ones. So in other words, Noach didn't have to go out and get them.
Right.
Because that's a huge job just to get them from all over. Right?
Doesn't it, so we're going to get to that in the next word, Yava'u, that they shall come. They shall come by their own instincts.
They will come. This is like the original.
So this is a mercha. So again, this doesn't exclude the stuff that's before, but leads specifically into what's going to come after it. Mercha. They shall come by their own instincts, and without difficulties they will find their way to the location of the ark as conveyed by the directional shape of the reading mark. So,
I know what you were thinking.
It sounds like they know when the animals know
Here's the
to come
directional
according
signs
to
to the ark.
That's what it sounded like.
That's what I thought.
That's why we need Trop to separate it so that we don't read it that way.
I'm
Yeah.
starting to think like that.
Well, we're sitting right next to each other. I want you in next to me for now.
They're going to come to you. The Tzipcha closes off the thought that the Mercha opened for us.
You're on Eilacha now?
Eilacha, number 12. The decision of whom to admit or reject will be left to you by the principles which were outlined as demonstrated by the closing shape of the... sorry, it's no chala, yes.
We're talking about animals, so he's very interested in
by the closing shape of the directional reading.
Where's his better half? Or is that a man or a woman? No, but see, that's what I'm saying. Here he calls it, the only time they don't say Zachar Necheva, they say man and woman, which is very strange. We didn't get to that part yet, I guess, right? Where it's talking about man and woman. I think that's later, right?
To you.
Where they actually, they don't say Zachar Necheva. In this Parshat, there's one place where it says Ish v'Isha, which is weird, because we think of Ish and Isha as a man and a woman, not male and female, man and a woman. And he's talking about animals, he calls it Ish and Isha.
Really?
I'm positive, right? In this Parshat, Jeff?
I'll have to...
You don't remember that? That's definitely in Parshat Noach. I don't know where exactly.
Ish
As opposed to... you saw it already?
Right, it's page 18. It's...
What's all Pasuk?
Perek Zayin Pasuk Beit.
And what is it?
Ish Ishto.
Ish v'ishto, which is very weird. It's like a husband and wife. Oh, Ish v'ishto means husband. Well, you can have husband and wife sort of in animals, but it's weird. The only time I think it's mentioned like that.
If we go back, like what you were just on, 12, will be left to you. I'm trying to figure out between 12 and 13. Okay. So the decision of whom to admit or reject will be left to you.
So, Noach is going to be, the animals are going to come, but ultimately Noach is going to have the right to say, yes, you are an acceptable species or not.
Okay.
Okay?
How will he know?
He's been given the principles that they have to be the same mean, they have to be the same species.
Oh.
They're allowed to have some variation of external features, but they have to be within the same species, and the pairs have to be one male, one female, and and again, he has to see that they have enough characteristics to meet the criteria of same species.
The G-log is so strong that they could probably get this rewritten and say, oh no, that's too heterosexual, just heterosexual. And they would have an arc with the two.
Well, again, we see from the word elecha that it's to Noach's discretion whether they came in or not, and because it's fitting together with the word yava'u, it's the couples of animals that are going to come, and he gets to choose from amongst them. The question is, were any rejected, and we don't have an answer to that.
You would be allowed. You would be allowed on the ark. Because you're obviously a couple.
Lahachayot.
So we go on now to, yeah.
For surviving, number 13. This is the Sof Pasuk. However, before entering the box, each pair will have to qualify for its privilege of admission for surviving.
Where were you reading? Where is that one?
Number 13. Sof Pasuk. Lahachayot.
Remember,
So again, Elecha, why are they coming to Noach? They're coming to Noach in order for him to make the decision. Are they going to be Lahachayot? Is he going to allow that species to survive or not? So it was to Noach's discretion.
Now, is there a note under Lahachayot?
It's Sof Pasuk.
Right. So what are those
two dots that are after it?
Right.
So if you'll notice that there are some makaf, some
right. Two of them, right? Like
there are two of them.
Right. And then before the vav.
So those tell you the syllables in the word that get accent. Ha-hayot. So you put an accent both on the hey and on the yud.
Say it again.
It's tough when it's not right under the note. Oh, so the after the note is that, I mean after the letter. But the makaf is always the makaf are those two lines that are sticking out that aren't notes.
So the difficulty is that when you have other vowels there, it's difficult to see directly from the placement of it.
Right.
Some of the tikkunim are a little bit better at that because they seem to have allowed themselves a little bit of editing.
Oh, it doesn't have to be on the letter; it can be just on the syllable.
So it's going to tell you the syllable that's going to get the accent.
So the ha. So there's when it's two, it's the ha-ha-yot, as opposed to the ha-ha-yot.
La-ha-yot. So you can play around with the accent, but this is telling you that both the ha and the yo are getting. Right.
So those are makavs, and how about and what would you say the dashes are?
That's what
the dashes are in the Torah, right?
No,
not
in the Torah.
No, like the ones like the horizontal ones. The hyphens, or no, not in this word, but I'm saying in general.
Number 3, Umin HaBehema.
No, you're talking.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yes, Umin HaBehema.
Right. So what are those?
So those again are what we've got is we have. This is just a technical tool that he is using to say that you have two words that only have one note underneath them. Therefore, Umin HaBehema. Yes.
No, but that's
his.
Wait, what's that called? The hyphen, first of all. Makaf. No, but makaf is Hebrew. Whatever. Okay, whatever it is, let's call it hyphen. But he didn't put the hyphens there. You see hyphens in the Koran, Bible, and everything. No.
So there are some times that you will have words that are connected to each other.
Dr. Seaman did not make up those hyphens. I mean, those hyphens are in other places. That he's just repeating what he saw somewhere else.
I'm looking to see if he has more than
a normal sequence.
Than Art Scroll has defined or not.
So when Art Scroll has one, it's to show that it's there's only one. Oh, I see what you're saying. So that means Abema has one note. Okay, so there's a. How come we don't have the makaf and behema to tell you where the accent is? How come every word doesn't have those makafs?
Yeah, okay, so I'm sorry, they're
standard things.
Standard.
So why aren't there makafs under other words? Now I'm going back to the makafs.
Because there's a standard placement of which syllable gets accented, and the only time that you need to specifically say which syllable is going to be accented is when it's an exception to the rule, or when you're going to have more than one syllable that's accented.
So for behema, we know it's behema. We wouldn't say behema, or like in English, in Yiddish, behema. Okay. So with the hakayot, the havamina, you could say it a different way.
So if we'll look at ha'adama.
Right.
So let's look at remes first.
Okay.
So number 6, remes. How do we know it's remes and not remes? Because the mercha is under the
the note,
the trop itself tells you that that's where the accent is. But ha'adama, number 7.
So in remes, where is the note? It's under the reish? where
it's
is
under
that
the
now?
resh, so it's remes, not remes.
But it's
Yeah,
tough to
We're
know
talking about crawling, yes.
But it's tough to know where, like you said, it's not always right under the letter. So how do you know that that tikka is under the resh?
So
It
sorry,
could be
does
like
that
a
change
memo.
Okay.
Did that change the
you-
word?
No, it just tells you which syllable is accented.
Right.
And again, that's there are rules in every language which syllable gets the accent. And by the way, the reading notes usually go under the accented syllable.
Right.
However, you have some words that might have more than one syllable that gets accent. So, ha'adama. After remes, the next word, number 7, ha'adama,
Yeah.
you're going to notice that there's a makaf that tells you that.
But is that makaf under the hay or under the aleph? It's hard to tell. Like in ha'adama.
To me, it looks like it's under the hay. But
Then it would be ha'adama.
Leave this
So
open.
it's ha'adam. So how do you pronounce ha'adama?
It's under the aleph.
It's
It
under
has
the
to be
aleph.
under the aleph because the aleph, the aleph
Oh.
is going to get.
Ha'adama, not ha'adama. No. Oh, that's the
You want to know something?
Adama.
No, he specifically says here it's under the hay.
looks so.
Corinne was right.
It's under
Corinne,
the-
you Torah scholar,
Okay.
you. So it's ha'adama. But we don't say that, do we? Remes,
Remes hadama.
oh, when you're singing, not necessarily saying it. Okay. I'm never laying it again.
So the
Now it makes it work. I can never lay it again after a reason.
again because you've got the makaf there, you're going to say that that word is going to have more than one syllable that gets played. So when you have a silent letter, when you have an aleph or an ayin, sometimes those letters will become elided. You don't even
heard of that
you
word.
don't
How do you
even
spell that?
elided. So you won't even.
E-L-I-D-E-D. I never. What does that mean?
It means that you don't pronounce them at all.
Elided?
Yes.
I'm
Look
elated
it up.
to find out that I
Look it up
never know
in the
word.
dictionary. Yes.
Elided.
So sometimes
I'm delighted.
sometimes it's not la reuveni, it's la ruveni. The
La
aleph
ruveni.
completely disappears.
Right, it's swallowed up.
So the question is, does the aleph disappear or not? Hadama or ha'adama? So in order for the aleph to get some pronunciation,
Right.
you have to
Put the
put the accent onto the ha before it. So
Right.
that because otherwise you'll lose the
You'll-
aleph with the
you'll
fatah
swallow
fatah.
it.
So instead of hadama, it's ha'adama. So you have to give an accent to the hay beforehand so that the aleph gets a sound. So that's why there's a makaf under the hay, so that the aleph can stand by itself, because now it's sort of part of something new.
But like, wait.
But by the way, the real accent of the word is on the ma, is where the reading
ma,
note
right.
is.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When you say a word, like when you sing something, it sort of because the nature of singing
Correct.
or whatever, it
But
changes.
don't forget,
the accent.
this isn't prose. This is poetry. It's got a meter to it. The meter
Right.
defines something, and that's what we're trying to say here. Is that the meter and the rhythm is giving more than just a way you sing it. It's giving some meaning as well,
Right.
and you have to take the meaning backwards from the way that you've sung it.
But
And
I'm
that's what
saying-
we're
yeah.
trying to do. Is
But I'm
we're
saying
trying to
it's-
say, okay, we sing it this way, that's nice. No, we sing it this way, that's the way it has the meaning, and we've got to take the way that we've sung it and turn it back into the meaning that was implied by that way of singing it.
So according, your father is much more strict. According to, like a Balkora, as long as the Ivra is right, you're not supposed to. Otherwise, every Balkora would be stopped every 2 seconds. You would have never break time. So, even though the trumpet is so important, it, maybe in Dr. Siemens' shul that he would stop you for every, But I'm saying.
So, when it changes the meaning of the word, it becomes something that is correctable. The question is, if you read it hadama versus ha'adama, would that be correctable? And it really depends.
In need of correction, you're saying.
In need of correction.
Right.
And it really depends on the kahal, the congregation that you're reading to.
Right.
If you have a congregation that is sensitive to that, then it would be. But in the majority of places, it would not be correctable.
No, but I'm saying not in the Hadamah. I'm saying in this whole paper in general, it's all based on the truck. But I'm saying we don't correct people if they do the wrong truck. If they say our guy instead of I can
Correct.
fake it as I can fake it all
Other
the
than
time.
the fact that the truck will change pronunciations of words. Kol, chol.
Okay, but
So pasuk with a loud with a long vowel.